It's Friday, July 31st, 2026, and this is the Washington Times front page. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. The Iran war is expanding as Egypt confirmed an unidentified drone caused a fire at the Mediterranean port of Damietta, while the U.S. continued striking military and intelligence targets in Iran. Von Kochan reports Egyptian officials said a preliminary investigation identified a drone attack as the primary cause of Wednesday's fire. Authorities didn't name any party responsible for the attack. The attack was the first on Egyptian soil since the start of the Iran war and underscores how quickly the conflict has expanded. Iran has targeted several Arab countries in the region with drones and missiles over the past 5 months, justifying it by saying those countries host U.S. military facilities. However, it hasn't claimed responsibility for this attack, and Egypt doesn't have any U.S. bases. President Trump's endorsement of Darlene Graham, sister of the late Senator Lindsey Graham, may not be enough to carry her to victory in the South Carolina primary. Graham, who was sworn in earlier this month to fill the remainder of her brother's Senate term, officially launched her candidacy Thursday. Still, Susan Ferricchio reports voters are skeptical. A new Emerson College poll shows Representative Ralph Norman leading Graham by 3 percentage points, with more than half the voters polled saying Trump's endorsement of Graham makes no impact on their vote. The survey backs up warnings from conservative operatives in the Palmetto State that Graham remains a political unknown, and even with the president's backing, voters are considering more closely vetted candidates. In another Senate race up in Michigan, Abdul Al-Sayed's candidacy is a paradox. Seth MacLachlan writes he embodies the American dream as an immigrant family success story, academic standout, and public health reformer, yet argues the systems that helped him rise are broken and demand an overhaul. The son of Egyptian immigrants, he grew up in the affluent suburbs of Detroit, excelled in school and sports, and earned top honors at the University of Michigan before completing his medical degree at Columbia. Critics say his resume doesn't hold up, however, and most voters won't buy his political vision. The Trump administration has brought the first case in the U.S. Alien Terrorist Removal Court, seeking to remove an Afghan woman who prosecutors say supported her son's plot to kill people on Election Day in 2024. Stephen Dinan reports Nazira Zada is being sought for removal. She's the mother of Abdullah Zada and the mother-in-law of Nasir Tawedi, 2 men who planned to carry out mass shootings on Election Day 2 years ago. The Justice Department says Zada pledged loyalty to the Islamic State and helped radicalize other members of her family. The department also said the family sold off property to help finance the plot. And finally, the U.S. and Ukraine have signed preliminary documents on drone cooperation that would allow Ukrainian systems to be sent to the United States for Pentagon testing. Guillaume Patak reports the emerging partnership is aimed at turning Ukraine's battlefield-tested drone technology into a source of weapons and manufacturing capacity for the U.S. military. 6 Ukrainian companies have already received permission to export about 100 drones each for the Pentagon's Drone Dominance program. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on social media at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.